Her work as an extraordinary and wide-ranging flutist might be enough on its own. Her enterprising achievements as founder and longtime member of the groundbreaking group the Amani Winds might be enough. Then there's her unflagging devotion to teaching and mentorship, creating legacies and uplifting countless lives. And the fact that she's now channeling her immense creative talent into compositions, which are being played in venues large and small around the world. Any of those might be enough on its own. In combination, she is a unique and powerful creator in our time whose work will live on. Valerie Coleman, it is my tremendous pleasure to name you. Oh my goodness, I'm nervous just saying this. I'm so excited. It's my tremendous pleasure to name you as the Performance Today 2020 Classical Woman of the Year. Valerie, congratulations.
Wow. That is fantastic. Um, I know you're recording me right now, but what I want to do is just jump up and down and do a happy dance.
Oh, do it. I
Thank
would
you
love
so
the sound
much.
of that.
What an honor and a privilege. Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. I looked this up online because I did not expect this at all. But it was just mentioned in the email that you'd like to talk to me about it. And I said, okay, so I looked it up and I noticed that this is the second, um, you know, the inaugural was 2019. So this is 2020.
And that was
And
conductor Joanne Falletta last year.
I'm speechless. I really am honored. Thank you.
Well, I have so many questions for you, and I mean, each of these things I listed we could talk about for a long time, but I'm just curious, given all you've already accomplished and all that you're in the middle of doing right now, if you had one piece of advice for your 20-year-old self, looking back from now, what would you say to your 20-year-old self?
Oh, I would say keep going on the path that you are, have faith. Um, and the one thing that I have now that I had then was always a renewable sense, is always a renewable sense of hope. And I think that always comes with new ideas and new projects that spring forth. So having trust in that and relying on your intuition is the way to go.
And how about advice for young women who are entering this field right now?
I would say that your work is valid, your work is powerful. Keep going on the path, listen to your intuition, listen to your voice, think big, dream big. Do not let any circumstance or anyone around you tell you that a particular project or any concept, creative concept that you have is too small, because really it's only your imagination that can implement it and your creative power. So that's what I would say.
It's only your imagination and your creative power that can make it happen. I love that. Valerie, for you, what's the importance or the meaning of amplifying voices in classical music and listening to voices in classical music that have long been unheard or overlooked?
Well, I'd like to think that being unheard and overlooked actually gives a person the opportunity to go into your own, find your own sacred space. And in the cloak of anonymity, you can venture further than what you might have been being in society's limelight. So in that way, it has been a benefit, but it's time to now move to the forefront. It's time to now show all the work and ideas that have been manifested. It's time to bring them forth.
Valerie, what are you working on right now?
Well, I'm working on a band piece. It's for University of Michigan, and it's called "Let Woman Have Her Spear." and it's in honor of the 100th anniversary of the suffragist movement. That's one piece that I'm working on. Another is a new group that myself, composer Hannah Lash, who is also a harpist, and Nokatula Ngunyama, who is a concert violist who just realized her composer chops. We formed a composer collective and performance ensemble called Umama Wo Mama, which is basically mothers in music in Zulu.
I can't wait to hear what comes of this. So compositions from the three of you, concerts from the three of you?
Absolutely. Absolutely, the whole thing. We see it as a far-stretching, vast encompassing type of collaboration where all of us as teachers, all of us as composers and performers are able to not only become role models for young women composers or women composers in general, but also use our collaborative skills to generate new works, see how we can feed off of each other. And, you know, we've been dreaming big ourselves, everything from writing collaborative concertos for orchestra to writing collaborative pieces for a variety of settings, whether it's education or a main stage recital. So there's a lot of things going on it's really exciting.
So many musicians are struggling right now, spring of 2020, with staying healthy, caring for family and friends, and then on top of that, cancellations, keeping careers viable as income can be
Oh, my goodness.
disappearing. Have you had to deal with cancellations this spring?
Oh, absolutely. There have been, you know, I was supposed to go out to Seattle and Portland for their flute festivals in April. So as you can imagine, Seattle right now, you know, it's not possible to travel there. I was supposed to go to New York. It wasn't possible to travel there as well. So there's a few things that are going on that were I was looking forward to that were canceled. The New York Philharmonic was going to premiere my work Umoja, well, the New York premiere of that, and that was canceled as well. So yeah. Oh, it's not a premiere. I'm sorry, but it's the New York Philharmonic premiere.
New York Philharmonic premiere. You recently were commissioned by Carnegie Hall and had a Carnegie Hall performance. How was that experience for you?
It's, you cannot put it into words. The moment that you see the hall, the moment that you hear an ensemble play within those halls is, it's a moment where you just pause and you feel immensely grateful, but it's also hard to breathe because you're just sucking in so much air at one time, gasping like this overwhelming feeling of this is amazing. There are no words. There are truly no words. And I've gotten past that point of realizing that this is my purpose. For some strange reason, I've always felt that that was the case. It's just a matter of time, patience, and persistence. And so, yeah, just being grateful. And all of those things just came to a big head as I was there.
A lot of musicians have told me that the first time they go there and walk backstage and through those little hallways and then out on stage, they're so aware of the ghosts of all the great musicians of the past 125 years who've been on those very same boards. And then the recognition that I belong here too. Did you have an experience like that?
Well, you know, I have this serious fault in that I have imposter syndrome. So no matter what goes on in my life and any accomplishments, I feel that uh, it's not the culmination of anything, and that I have to constantly work to be worthy of that. But I believe that that's a good thing because we have to learn and grow as musicians, as composers, as creators, as artists. And the moment we stop believing that, then that's the moment that we stop growing. So,
Well, I'm so glad to speak with you. I'm so glad we were able to connect today during these times. I'm glad to see that you're so well and energetic. And it's just such an honor for me to have you as the PT 2020 Classical Woman of the Year and to be able to celebrate you
holy
and
cow.
your work throughout the coming year.
Thank you, Fred. I really appreciate this. Beyond,
Valerie Coleman, it's wonderful to see you. Congratulations. Can't wait to celebrate your work all the more in the coming year.
thank you so much. It's an honor.